Good evening, fellow politicos. I just got off the phone with the North Carolina Republican Party, and we had our second of two conference calls over the last 2 weeks. And both conference calls have been regarding the convention this weekend in Hickory. And, of course, the first one I listened to when I was at work, so I really did not take very good notes because in between helping customers, I was, toggling the volume, trying to listen in to what's happening. But tonight, since I am on vacation in a hotel room here in northeastern Tennessee, I took very good notes, and so I'm going to talk to you, try to give you a brief, less than 5 minutes version of the 30-minute conference call. So here we go. It's important to note that the executive committee meeting will be held Sunday morning at 11 a.m. at the Crown Plaza Hotel. That was previously not in the convention agenda. So there you have it, 11 a.m. Sunday morning, Crown Plaza Hotel. Again, I hope and pray they have quorum, because that 11 a.m. start time, yeah, that's a little late in the day for people, that. Again, I say this every single time I do one of these convention videos, but they really need to move that to like 8 or 9 o'clock Sunday morning so they get business done. And again, I'm all for prayer breakfast and everything, but they need to move that event to another time, perhaps Thursday night. Another thing they discussed was the use of electronic voting devices. These are brand new this year for this convention. Delegates will get their own keypad, and they'll have their own password to their own keypad, so nobody else can use it except for you, the delegate. The company that's doing this is named Paget Communications. They have handled events from a few, like 200 people to 4,000 people. They had a big GOP event in Iowa last year, apparently. They had 4,000 people, and it worked great. Another thing they're looking forward to is 2019, when the next chairman's election will be. And they said that this new technology should be able to handle electronic voting. Dallas Woodhouse, who hosted this conference call, he stated that they have a new registration system in place and that credentials should go smoother. Now, where have I heard that before? I heard that in 2014 during the Claude Pope administration. Apparently, they had put in a new system for credentialing delegates, same thing as registered delegates, and it apparently moved a lot smoother. There was only a 15-minute delay in the convention instead of like an hour delay in 2011 to 2013. But then I moved away to Florida, and I heard in 2015 to 2017 that the delays were once again up to an hour. They had to take an hour recess during the convention business session because credentials were not complete. So we'll see what happens with that. Another thing they talked about, basically tonight, the purpose of tonight's call was to have the committee reports. You have your rules committee, your credentials committee, your resolutions committee, your plan organization committee, and your platform committee all give a little brief summation of their reports. And Mr. Woodhouse reported that resolutions should be done on Saturday morning. This is a change because usually they just have the committee reports. They generally just follow a certain order, and whenever they get done, they get done. So we'll see about Saturday morning. The chair of the resolutions committee is Representative Skip Stam. When they were looking at resolutions, whether or not they should go to the state convention, Mr. Stam said that they should be statewide, and there should be no controversy with the platform. Now, my thinking about the resolutions is that the whole statewide thing, personally, I think if they're good enough to pass the county, if they're good enough to pass the district, they should be good enough to be brought to the state convention. I mean, there are only 4 resolutions this year. I remember when they had 12 to 15. I mean, really. That whole should be statewide thing, really. I don't like that very much. The Plan and Organization Committee. Let's see. Basically, the big thing in there is that they want to allow the state executive committee to endorse in elections where no primary takes place. Now, why is this a big deal now? Well, this is because of the whole judicial elections. Multiple Republicans could file for judicial elections, and there will be multiple Democrats on the ballot for sure. Mr. Woodhouse said that it is essential that we pass it because Dems have sued the legislature against how the judicial elections are being done, as well as how judicial redistricting is being done. And he said, most organized party wins. I'm kind of keeping an open mind with this thing. I've heard a lot of stuff, pro and con, and honestly, I don't have an opinion at this time with that whole plan organization change. Now, then they talked about the platform. Mr. Woodhouse reported again that the platform should be done on Friday. Again, we'll see. But apparently, when you look at the platform, there Article 7 under Justice, they made some changes there, as well as double taxation, and teacher compensation should be driven by market forces. And then it was time for Q&A. We had Frank from Wilmington, who's running for Soil and Water seat, so he wants to make sure that the endorsing when there's a primary should be made permanent. Linda DeVore from Fayetteville said that no changes were made out in the platform report versus all other reports. And she said there's no way we can preview the changes before the convention. Katie Koopa of the NCGOP said that the NCGOP should email out the platform changes. And if people do not get that version with the red lines, then the new red line version should be seen at the convention via a projection screen. And then Jonathan Fletcher said, when will the Plan and Organization report be discussed? Which is probably my favorite committee report, besides the Credentials Committee. And Mr. Woodhouse responded saying, hopefully Friday afternoon, but that is up to the convention body. He said all committee reports except for resolutions should be done Friday. Again, I tell him we'll see. We saw this last year. Apparently, all of the convention business was done by 5:30 on Friday. And yet you have all this time on Saturday, and it's like, come on, really? Let's have a good long debate about these things. I mean, really. And then let's see, Chris from I believe he's from District 6, Congressional District 6, the Greensboro area, said that he believes the Plan of Organization change is too open-ended. It needs amendments. And according to Mr. Woodhouse, primaries should be coming back, judicial primaries. The legislature did not want to have judicial primaries due to the redistricting of judicial districts. And the party as a whole wants to have primaries come back. So in other words, the establishment supports this. And then after Chris's question was too controversial, Dallas Woodhouse decided to end the convention rather abruptly. In other words, he didn't say, any other questions out there? No, he just, after Chris's statement, he just said, that's it, I'm done, bye-bye. And also of note, Robin Hayes, the chairman of the NCGOP, who was present on the last conference call, was not present in this call. So that is a brief summation here. How was my time? Okay, well, I went 10 minutes, but okay. Hey, 10's lesser than 30, right? So anyway, here's what you need to know. You should come to Hickory Thursday from 12 to 6. Sometime then, register, get your little goodie bag and everything. Get yourself familiar with what's going on with this convention. Friday, be there by 10 a.m. to the first breakout session. Okay? I will talk to y'all soon. I'm going to fly away now.